stand by for action.
Thanks for joining me. My name is Dave Milner. I am the Unpleasant Blind Guy, and I want to welcome you to part 2 of this episode of the Unpleasant Blind Guy on EDL Radio. Now remember, if you want to contact me with comments, questions, show suggestions, Awesome American suggestions, I'm available at UBG Contact on Twitter, or I can also be found as Dave Milner or Agador, that's Aggedor, on Mumblet, the Tea Party Community, Spreely, Minds, MeWe, or Gab. Now let's begin.
Thank you very much, Dave. Yeah, Usman Khan, a known extremist, only recently released from prison, is responsible for the Black Friday Islamic terror attack in London, killing 2 people. Terrorists walking free amongst us. Usman Khan, a Kashmiri Muslim, was jailed for terrorism offences in 2012 because he was part of a terror cell that planned to bomb the London Stock Exchange. The cell also planned to plant bombs in pub toilets in Stoke-on-Trent in the hope of targeting the members of the English, listen to this, the English Defence League. English Defence League, though, about that. Usman also planned to open a training facility in Kashmir, masquerading as a madrasa, which would have a long-term terrorist threat to the region, as well as the UK. Mr. Justin Wilkie, who presided over the case at the time, said, "It is clear that this was a serious long-term venture in terrorism, the purpose of which was to establish and manage a terrorist training facility at the madrasa, to raise for its construction and operation by use of various means, including fraud, and to recruit young British Muslims to go and train, thereafter being available to commit terrorism abroad and at home." Mr. Justin Wilkie was right about Usman. The decision he made at the time completely vindicated him and justifies the sentence passed down to him. In my judgment, these offenders would remain even after a lengthy term of imprisonment, of such a significant risk that the public could not be adequately protected by their being managed on licence in the community. How true his words rang out there. Despite Mr. Justice Wilkes' warning about the significant Usman posed to the general public, Usman's sentence was shortened after he successfully appealed, claiming that his original sentence was too long. Usman and his co-defendants had their sentences reduced to 16 years on appeal, which meant that after serving 7 years, Usman was released on licence and made to wear a tag. What good did that do? How did monitoring work for the 2 innocent people murdered in cold blood on London Bridge yesterday? If it wasn't for some brave Brits in the area, Usman may have killed more people. Our thoughts and prayers with the families of the victims. Al-Qaeda inspired. Usman and the terror cell he was part of was inspired by the ideology of Anwar al-Awlaki and the Al-Qaeda. The cell also had plans to send letter bombs and conduct a Mumbai-style armed assault. How could an appeal court judge think that the original sentence handed down to Usman was too tough? It's got a lot of questions got to be answered, ladies and gentlemen. In April this year, strict new laws were introduced to tackle terrorism. The Counter-Terrorism and Border Security Act 2019. It does not seem on strict or tough when the likes of Usman are allowed out of prison early only to commit a despicable, murderous Islamic terror attack. While free, perhaps the act needs to review its sentencing guidelines, given the fact that it's supposed to make extended sentences available for terrorism offences. Yeah, for terrorism offences. Ending automatically early release and allowing a longer period on licence. Maybe it should recall any terrorists who have been released early prior to the act coming into force and get them off our streets. Due to public outrage, the parole board made a statement. It goes on to say, we have every sympathy with those affected by the dreadful events that happened in London Bridge yesterday. Given the seriousness of this attack, it is understandable that there is speculation about the attacker's release from prison. The parole board can confirm it had no involvement with the release of the individual identified as the attacker, who appears to have been released automatically on licence as required by the law, without even being referred to the board. That's the story, Dave. That is it. There's a lot to digest there about the reason why he was let out. I mean, they did bring into the new law into thing to stop these type of people being released. It's just as sad that he got through the loop and he went about doing what he planned to do. All the years he was banged up, he knew that he would get out one day and he would do exactly what he done Friday afternoon at 2 minutes to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He planned it, and he didn't know exactly how the outcome was going to be. He thought he might get away with it. He might scream for mercy. Fortunately for him, he's been buried by now, and he's a Muslim, isn't he? They bury him sort of soon after, unless he's put on ice, and there has to be post-mortem, etc., and then there's that thing. And so it doesn't matter if he's a Muslim or not, does it, Dave? I don't know, mate. I don't know. Back to you, Dave.
Well, yeah, Jeff. I mean, just so much to unpack with this one, as opposed to so many others that have happened. But what it glaringly shows to me is the very thing that the English Defence League has been talking about through the entire 10 years of its existence. There appears, and this just gives proof to it, to be a double standard. We've said this before, and we're saying it again because now it's proven, when it comes to Muslims and non-Muslims in the law in the United Kingdom. The Mohammedans are given special treatment as if the fact that they are Mohammedans is a mitigating circumstance in whatever they do. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be their rape jihad that they have going on. It can be wife beating. It can be murder. It can be anything. Even now we see planning terrorist attacks and things of that nature. They get a break because they're Mohammedans. It's the kind of break that they wouldn't have gotten. This guy, if he had been a member of the EDL, he wouldn't have gotten this break. And you read it yourself, Jeff, right there. He and this group of his were planning, among other things, to try and blow up members of the EDL. All right. Again, if he had, if he had been a member of the EDL, he'd still be in jail. Okay, let's just say that right there. He would still be in prison, probably in a Muslim-controlled prison, and going through hell, and that would be going on for a long time. He would have been old and gray by the time he got out, if he managed to live.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, our organisation's never been attacked anybody, but they want to try to kill us, and it's quite obvious what it said there, Dave, that we take the stick from the law. It's us who takes the flak, and it's the poor innocent public out there who feels the brunt of them underestimating exactly the threat that we've been talking about for, Dave, how many years? How many years
10 years
have we gone on about this?
A decade, yeah, Jeff. It's been going on. You guys have, the EDL has been in existence for 10 years and talking about this, and the only thanks that they've gotten is being called racist, even though Islam is not a race, and xenophobes and all this other crud that people are called to tell the truth about Islam. But again, guys listening, okay, these stories have just shown you the proof here. The system in the United Kingdom is broken, and the system in the United States, for you Americans, isn't far behind. Any Europeans listening to this, you know your system is just as broken too. All right? It is that needs to be changed. All right? The only thing the EDL has ever asked for, and you can read it in their mission statement, all right? That's in our show page. There's a direct link to it. The only thing the EDL has ever asked for is equal treatment under the law. And they've also asked for Islam, not Mohammedans themselves, but Islam, the ideology, to be examined as a possible prime mover in these terroristic attacks, examined by the government in open examinations. Okay? And I see no problem in that, because I've been saying, and Jeff's been saying, and many of our colleagues have said, that Islam is the prime mover in these attacks. There's nothing wrong with government doing the kind of research that's necessary to find out whether that is, in fact, the case. The reason, Jeff, I think that they don't do it, and you can please throw your 2 cents in after this, is because I think we know what will come about if an honest study is done on this, and what will come out will be that yes, Islam is the primary cause for this, and that means that governments will have to do something about Islam. And they don't want to go there. They don't want to do that because too many people are getting bribes and getting to stay in office and things of that nature, so they don't want to rock that boat. What do you think, brother?
Well, yeah, I mean, not only that, it's the petrodollars, it's the Saudis who rules the roost, who rules over the governments. I mean, that's what you got to tell the way it is, and this is what we all know. That is the reason why they're very soft and easygoing on this sort of situation, and attack people like us who speak out, because they don't want us to rock the gravy boat. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Mayhem, it's all about not rocking the boat. That's what it all comes down. They're gravy boats. So there you go. That's just me. This is just me summing it up the way that I've always seen it as. It's the gravy boat. They don't want to rock it, and they don't want to spill it. There you go, Dave.
I got to tell you, Jeff, being that we celebrated Thanksgiving over here in the United States on Thursday, your analysis, brother, was very delicious. Not just the regular boat, the gravy boat, and we know where the gravy goes, right into their pockets. And the same thing, by the way, again, is happening right here in the United States. We had in the last election, Americans, we had over 90 Mohammedans that ran for office. They didn't all win, but they ran for office. Okay, so don't think this is just something that's going on in the UK. That's why I'm here. I'm here, acting as Jeff's wingman to sound the warning to my fellow Americans, guys. This is in our face now. This is in our face. We have Mohammedans in Congress now, and they're awful. Okay, and it's just going to get worse if we don't do something about Islam. Now, Jeff, I want to do a little something. I want to switch over, if you don't mind. to something a little bit lighter, because we did have some stories last Sunday that we didn't get to. Last Sunday was a tremendous show, and the holiday passed, and it really has been a busy time since then, as you guys have heard. And there were some positive stories out there from our Sunday show that we didn't get to. And just for a moment, Jeff, if you don't mind, I'd like to throw in something a little bit light. This lasts 3 minutes and 18 seconds. I think you know what I'm going to do. If you're ready, I'm going to go ahead and play this. This has to do with the seasonal thing. You ready?
Let's go for it, Dave.
All right, guys. Here you go. You're listening to the English Defense League radio show.
As we gather this week with loved ones across our beautiful land, we give thanks to God for the many gifts that He has bestowed upon us. Today we also come together to honor the beautiful feathered friend, the noble turkey. And that's a beauty. It's said that Abraham Lincoln was the first president to spare a Thanksgiving turkey at the request of his son. In 1947, President Harry Truman accepted the first annual National Thanksgiving Turkey. In the decades that followed, presidents from Kennedy to Reagan would show mercy to their birds. But it was George H.W. Bush who first issued an official pardon. In keeping with that tradition, today I will issue a pardon to a pair of very handsome birds, Butter and his alternate, Bread. Their names were chosen by the students of Harold's Christian Academy in North Carolina, great state. Bread and Butter were raised in Tar Heel State by farmer Wellie Jackson, who's here with us with his wife, Tara, and their lovely family. And I want to thank you very much. Great job. Great job. Thank you very much. Thankfully, Bread and Butter have been specially raised by the Jacksons to remain calm under any condition, which will be very important because they've already received subpoenas to appear in Adam Schiff's basement on Thursday. True. Hundreds of people have. It seems the Democrats are accusing me of being too soft on turkey. But Bread and Butter, I should note that unlike previous witnesses, you and I have actually met. It's very unusual. In any event, I expect this pardon will be a very popular one with the media. After all, turkeys are closely related to vultures. I don't know if I like that line, but there's a little truth to it. But today, after the birds will retire to Gobbler's Rest at Virginia Tech, great college, where they will be cared for and enjoy a terrific life. So now we reach the moment Bread and Butter have been waiting for so patiently, their presidential pardons. Melania and I wish all Americans a very happy and blessed Thanksgiving. We love you all. Butter, let's talk to you for a second, because I'm going to do something that you're going to be very happy about. Butter, I wish you a lot of luck, but I hereby grant you a full and complete pardon. Full and complete.
What can I say? You're president. You're such a lucky man to have a president with the humour, with all that's hanging over him. He's got such a wicked sense of humour. He's going to go down to one of the funniest presidents of all time, isn't he? What humour! Especially calling out Schiffy at the Democrats. Bang on! Oh my goodness me! Dave, brilliant,
yeah,
mate. Brilliant.
It really is funny, Jeff. I mean, I've got to say, it's a great contrast. I love to tell this story just because it really shows the contrast. I mean, you could see in the video President Trump, petting the turkey and everything, and goes right over to it and pets it. And I can remember back. This might have been the first time, his first year in office, when President Obama was holding court and pardoning the turkeys. And this had to be his first or second year in office, because his girls were really young at the time. And the girls went up to the turkey and petted the turkey, and they wanted him to come up to the turkey, but he would not go up and pet the turkey. Like, dude, it's not gonna. Even though I have to, guys, I do apologize for saying this. This wasn't very Christian, But when he got close to the turkey, I was telling the turkey, as I was watching, like, bite him, come on, bite him. It didn't bite him, but that's the thing. It wasn't going to bite him, and he should have known it wasn't. But he was too cowardly to even pet the. He finally pet the turkey, but that was only because his girls shamed him into petting the turkey. It's just terrible. And you contrast that with President Trump taking the occasion and making some jokes and things of that nature. It was a good bit of fun, and we really, really need to have a bit of fun, guys. Because right now it is a very hard time that we're experiencing with these attacks and things of that nature. Jeff has put this out again, and it has to be said that the terrorists are out there, and what they want to do is they want to make sure that our Christmas season is spoiled. Okay, and it hasn't been just that attack. There was another attack in The Hague. All right, and that one took place yesterday. All right, and you saw this. It was on this street in The Hague, in this shopping district, where all these beautiful Christmas lights and everything were going on and everything. And again, this guy goes up and stabs some people. All right, and it's another Muslim. And I want to say, especially, guys, to my American brothers and sisters, guys, there are many states where you can conceal carry legally. All right. And you can also carry legally, openly, and things of that nature. Of course, always be safe. Of course, always make sure that you can legally carry where you're carrying. But remember that this is the season where the Mohammedans will target us, because
it's hunting season for them, Dave. It's hunting season for the Muslims. They know that people are going about Christmas, doing their Christmas thing, not even thinking about them evil people out there. But we say week in, week out, just be aware that people out there want to kill us. Kill me, you, your family, even blow us up. And that was said when we was reading that they was intended on blowing up an English Defence League people. So it goes to show you that the enemy is out there. The enemy is definitely out there, and we must always be alert and aware and vigilant. Always, wherever you are. Okay. Back to you, Dave. I missed your message, mate. What did you say?
Well, I was just saying, Jeff, it's just about time for you to call back in. Yeah, it's just about time for you to call back in if you'd like to do that. I'll continue.
I've got a minute or so. But Dave, thanks for that. I missed it. It came, and because I was just finishing off, and I was, miles ahead of myself, that I missed it, and it just disappeared before. But anyway, I'm going to pass it back to you, Dave, and then I'm going to do my thing, mate. I'm going to do my thing, and then call back in.
All right. Well, as they said in Men in Black, go put your thing down. All right?
There we go.
All right, guys. Now, as Jeff calls back in, I want to bring in another aspect to this. Why are these attacks going on? Now, obviously, part of it is just the general jihad against, in this case, the Christmas attacks against the Sunday people, against Christians. Of course, there are always attacks against the Saturday people, the Jewish people. Those are the basic reasons. But I think, having seen a few things and thought about this a little bit over the Thanksgiving break that we had, that there's another aspect to this. All right. I think that the Mohammedans are actually jealous of our Christian and Jewish celebrations around this time of year. I think that there is an aspect of jealousy involved in this, because let's take a little contrasting look at what the various religions have. We're going to go with Judeo-Christian religions and with Islam. Now, in Islam, when they have their festivals and celebrations and whatever, okay, what they do is basically they take some animals, slit their throats, let them bleed out alive, and die in terrible pain, and then eat the flesh. And then they go out and kill people or hurt people or something of that. That's what Mohammedans call a celebration. Okay, in the Judeo-Christian traditions, what do? We put up lights, we put out special music, we decorate our streets, we decorate our homes, we in the case of Christians, we bring a tree into the house. Wonderful traditions. Just guys, use DuckDuckGo.
Dave.
Yeah. Use DuckDuckGo. Don't use Google. Use DuckDuckGo and search for these things. Search for Poland Christmas lights, Hungary Christmas lights. All right, and you'll see in those countries they light the joint up from end to end practically for Christmas. It's beautiful. And then you look at pictures of shopping districts in a lot of countries in the rest of Europe, like say Germany, France, and the UK too. Even though UK is not part of Europe in my mind, it's its own thing. Okay, and what do you see? You might see a few lights and things like that, but not nearly as many. And Ken McClinton, host of the Exceptional Conservative Show, which you can hear at 9:05 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and the man who runs the Exceptional Conservative Network, was talking a year or two ago about how Washington, D.C., which used to be lit up to beat the band, okay, used to be lights all over the buildings and everything. Now it's just dark because of all the political correctness, okay? You really see the contrast between people who have said, you know what, we're going to celebrate our Judeo-Christian traditions and Christianity, and people who don't, or people who are so mired in political correctness that they don't. And I think, Jeff, that there is a certain element of jealousy that these Mohammedans have. I mean, you remember, I think this story came from last year. This happened in Europe, and I think it happened in the United States, too, of Mohammedans going in and attacking the Christmas trees. Okay? Now, you tell me, brother, okay, because you've been on the ground.
It's haram, Dave. In their eyes,
there it is.
It's classed as haram.
Yeah, go ahead.
Christmas is classed as haram to them. That's it. That's it. That's the reason why they despise it, because it's haram in Islam. There you go, brother.
Yeah. I mean, I really think, though, that aside from it being haram, I think that, and you please give me your opinion on this, because this is something that I just came up with really a day or two ago, actually on Thanksgiving when I was watching this program over here that we had called The Great Christmas Light Fight or something like that. They showed all these homes that were just blazing with Christmas lights. It was awesome. I thought about that, and I thought about the fact that these attacks from these Mohammedans go on at Christmas time. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, their quote-unquote religious reasons aside, I think they're just jealous of somebody else having a good time. Jeff, what's your opinion of that?
And that is it for this time. Next time, Part 3
I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for listening, and may your God go with you. Goodbye. The Unpleasant Blind Guy is copyright 2019. Anno Domini. Now for Dave's Canes. Extras that help you navigate the new media world.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
From a public locker inside a dilapidated Long Island rail station comes a show designed to piss off liberals using truth, facts, and ridicule. The Lid Radio Show, featuring the conservative voice from the People's Republic of New York, the Lid himself, Jeff Dunitz. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com. At Lid Radio, we fight for the truth, justice, and a good kosher T-bone. If you don't listen, Hillary Clinton might sneak into your bedroom in her housecoat late at night and blame you for her election loss. It's the Lid Radio Show with Jeff Dunitz.
It's your business diva here, Melanie Collette. I am inviting you to a front row seat as I discuss some of the most intriguing details of wealth and finance with today's movers and shakers in the world of business. Listen in and discover financial truths on a global, domestic, and household scale. Uncover topics that will impact your wallet today and in the future. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio. You can't afford to miss it.
The new show on the SHR Media Network, Sackheads Against Tyranny. On shrmedia.com. Go there quick like a bunny, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Wednesday. Live and direct on the SHR Media Network. shrmedia.com. Be there.
Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, a mere 2 miles from the state capital, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern, only on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com to listen. You can also watch on the SHR Media Facebook page and the SHR Media YouTube channel. No goldfish were abused in the making of this ad.
Hey girls, Carry Girl Gear is here. More and more women every day are concealed carrying, participating in competitive shooting, and getting firearms training. It's not a boys' club anymore, and we don't have to shop in their stores anymore either. Finally, a cool and unique clothing line just for women. Dope tees and hats for the patriotic concealed carry and 2A girl. So what are you waiting for? Go check out carrygirlgear.com today.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.